Okay, so we just finished inquiry 1, and it was focused on win. So how did it go?
I think it went pretty well. I'm excited that we started a little bit earlier this year, right after letters and sounds, so it was really easy, I think, to make our groups.
And last year was after trimester 2.
Yeah, so like almost like now a little bit, I think it was like almost actually around Christmas time. We like started in January.
Okay.
So it was a little bit farther, so it was kind of hard. I feel like our groups kind of were, there was a bigger gap. Where this year it was easier to have like less gap and then try to close the gap.
Okay.
And then based off of our data that came back from our portfolio and obviously our testing, I think the gap was lessened a little bit. So we still have those kids, which I think the trouble this time is going to be there's only like a small group who are under 10 letters and sounds, and then you have in the next group it's like at like the teens. So then if we only have 4 groups, like where do you choose to put those kids?
Because you maybe 2 groups, you might just have to put them together.
Yeah.
In the letters and sounds.
And you still have kids that are like way ahead of them now, and then I feel like you also have your kids now that, you know, for like costing kids in there, and there's some issues there that they almost need their own goals.
Yeah, like they might not make any growth, but the low ones or in the teen numbers might.
And I don't want to hold them back by putting them in there, but then that group is too small.
For 4 teachers.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I think we'll hit that on our last questions, but how did you make the group? How did you decide where they went?
Okay, so we first taking from our portfolio and for progress reports, because we're kind of really focusing on letters and sounds, so we didn't have to do a ton of testing. We did basically those who were 10 and below, those in the teens, and then 20s, and then mastery.
Okay.
So that's how
So just off of the letters and sounds.
Letters and sounds,
Because that was
yep.
mainly all there was.
Yeah, we weren't really
Okay.
talking about blending. Like now we would probably dive into like the 2 uppers. You maybe need to test our phonemic awareness page more with like beginning sounds and ending sounds to see where kids kind
maybe
of are.
the CVC page.
Yes. So
too.
like the decoding page.
Yeah, that's another thing.
So they would, because now that there's a whole group that mastered letters and sounds, but there's still a huge divide in that group. Before it was kind of easy to place them in that top group, middle group, but now that there's kids that are, you know, mastery that can't do beginning sounds, and there's kids that are ready to like read digraph words.
Yeah.
And they can't be in the same group, obviously.
So what do you plan on changing for when next trimester? Because it'll probably be mainly the groups that you've been talking about, right?
Yes. I think after observations and watching